Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Yes, it is 2022, yet I'm reviewing the final AEW show of 2021. AEW New Year Smash was last night for Rampage. Short show, of course, but did its job, was good. I have to admit, one match took me by surprise, and I did see tidbits of it last night because celebrating with the family for New Year's and watching some football for college. But I think if you watch Rampage, you can tell which match I'm talking about. But did have some good. Well, all was mostly good. And we got perhaps a tease of what's to come as far as Darby Allin. Because Darby Allin had that match of the year candidate with MJF at Full Gear, and presumably after that has done relatively nothing really significant. You know, he's feuded with the Gun Club, feuded with, the Acclaimed. It seems, he's had these one-off matches, but he was part with FTR in that 6-man tag with CM Punk, but relatively has not had a feud of significance. Now it seems like they may be pivoting that to the new year, which you like to see, and I can't wait for the match. But getting into the review, the show started off with Darby Allin versus Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed. We know both members of the Acclaimed can go. They both are really good. One of the shining tag teams in this ever-growing tag team division in AEW. And, this solid match. Again, Bowens is a talented wrestler. We know Darby can have a good match with relatively anyone. So, they were on the apron, and this was a bit of story of the match. Darby was whipped into the ring post by Bowens. His shoulder whipped off the ring post, and that took Darby out for a bit. Then they were exchanging in the middle of the ring. Caster hit some strikes, and then a super kick, which leveled Darby. They were on the top rope, and not sure what Bowens was going for, but Bowens was knocked off the top rope. Darby went for coffin drop, but was dropped on the top rope. Caster was at ringside, as well as Singh. Bowens hit a beautiful twisting DT to Darby off the top rope for a near fall. So Darby went for a suicida, the best tope suicida in the business, but intercepted by Caster. Sting took care of Caster on the outside, throwing him into the guardrail. Back in the ring, Darby, after it was dropped on the ring apron, hit Code Red on the Bowens for a near fall. Then on the outside, Darby then hit his Suicida, took out both the Acclaimed, hit the coffin drop on Bowens in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Darby gets the victory over Anthony Bowens in this nice opening match of New Year's Smash Rampage edition. Afterwards, we heard the music play of Andrade El Idolo, who made his return. We have not seen him in a bit since that flaming table spot against Cody in that street fight in Atlanta. And good to see Andrade back. It seems he is eyeing Darby Allin, and that would be a hell of a feud between Andrade and Darby. And then after Caster took the boombox, leveled Sting, and then went to the attack on Darby. And that was the end of the segment. But yeah, a feud between Darby and Andrade. Sign me up. That would be very fun match. Very fun. Then the match which now TJ, Ty Conti, and Anna Jay defeated Penelope Ford and the Bunny in a brutal street fight. But now, anyone who's watched the podcast will know that I and many others, I assume, have not enjoyed this feud between Penelope Ford, the Bunny, Anna Jay, and Ty Conti. The feud has been relatively crap, seemingly. Now, we know, yes, all four beautiful women, but at the end of the day, Ty Conti and Anna Jay both are great in the ring. At least they're very young, still in their AEW careers, and they're still improving. The Bunny and Penelope Ford have not really done anything since being in AEW. And even with the Hardy Family Office, still not really much. But I will say much respect for all four of these women in this match. And hopefully this is the end of this feud. Hopefully. Because, I mean, this, I will admit, was fun and was brutal. Let's just get in the match, okay? So, I'm glad all four women came out serious And so, they all came out to ring weapons. Conti, she threw a trash can into the face of Penelope Ford to start the bell. And then the bunny went for her signature brass knuckles, but Anna Jay intercepted him with a chair and knocked her out for a bit with the brass knuckles. And so Ty Conti and Penelope Ford, they were fighting on the outside. TJ set up a table. Penelope Ford, she set up Ty Conti on the table and went for a top rope moonsault. And her knees came square foot on the top of Ty Conti's head. The table obviously did not break, but still a decent spot. And then back in the ring, Penelope Ford, she got a bottle from underneath the ring, smashed it over Ty Conti's head, and both the bunny and Ty Conti were busted open. Usually you don't see one of the women of wrestling get busted open really much. At least we haven't seen it in a while, pretty much since the lights out match between, or unsanctioned match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker earlier this year, which was a classic. Classic. But so Ford and the bunny set up chairs in the middle of the ring and a table in the corner. And Jay hit suplex on Ford on these chairs. Good spot. Back from break. So the bunny, she's just Crimson Mask at this point. MJ, she locked on her Queen Slayer sleeper hold onto the bunny, but Bunny had the wherewithal as to know where the table was, and they backtracked and fell onto this table. Conti was out, or Jay was out for a bit, and for a near fall. And the bunny, she had back from underneath the ring, and we can kind of guess, because we've seen it a few times with the women, with Britt Baker and Abaddon, but the bunny got a bunch of thumbtacks from underneath the ring, square them in the middle of the ring. Anna Jay, she hit superplex onto the bunny through the thumbtacks for a 2 count. Penelope Ford broke it up, and she did get some thumbtacks in her hands in the process. And then probably the spot of the match, Conti, Crimson Mask, because there was another table set up, she and Penelope Ford were on the apron, and Conti hit a yacht-style pile driver to Penelope through the table. Brutal spot. Both women were out. And then the finish came, and damn, this was one brutal finish to a surprising match. But Anna Jay, she wrapped her arm in barbed wire, and she locked on her Queenslayer sleeper hold to a already bloody bunny, and the bunny had no place to go, already bloody. The Queenslayer with the barbed wire, I mean, bunny tapped, just fun match, brutal affair between the four women. And hats off to all four women that were involved. I mean, when a feud has been not good, your expectations are low. And when you get to this match, Street Fight, you're like, okay, how can these four women perform? And they definitely exceeded expectations. And part of that was definitely the feud that was going into this. But hats off to all four women. Two of them were busted open. I mean, just toughness personified, I would say, between these four. Then we get to the main event. And I was like, damn, after that match, we still have Cody versus Ethan Page. But main event, Cody Rhodes versus Ethan Page. It was also announced for next week's Rampage that it'll be, I believe, A. Kingston, Santana Ortiz, or Chris Jericho versus 2.0 Daniel Garcia. No holds barred. So that's a match to look forward to next week on Rampage. But main event time. So this match was good. However, of course, with the dilemma of Cody, because Cody, well, we saw it on Dynamite when the exchange between Brandy, his wife, and Dan Lambert, it made for a weird dilemma where they didn't know who to boo, seemingly, because they don't like Brandy and they don't like Dan Lambert. This match, Ethan Page is very good. He's improved a bunch since the pairing with Dan Lambert from his start and his debut at Revolution to now. Very good. Scorpio Sky, the pairing of course, we know wasn't great at the start, but gradually he's gotten better. Not a lot, but he's gotten better. With this match, of course, the match was good. They were on the outside. Paige hit a flying shoulder tackle off the apron onto the outside onto Cody. Back in the ring, Cody was targeting Paige's knee. He actually took off the knee brace at one point. Paige, after flipping off Arn, who was at ringside, hit the DT on the Cody for a 2 count. Cody was on the outside. He got beat down by Scorpio Sky, but Arn interfered. Pretty much had enough of the shenanigans. Dustin came out to take care of Sky into the crowd. Cody looked like he was going for a Cody Cutter springboard off the top rope. But Ethan Page countered and hit a nice looking power slam off the top rope onto Cody for a near fall. Cody hit the Cody Cutter. And then, not sure what he was going for, but Page hit a jackknife cover for a 2 count. Cody was on the top rope, but then he was whipped off the top rope by Page. Finally, after commotion, Cody hit 2 crossroads and then Tiger Driver 98, which seemingly is his finisher. For the win, Cody retains, and a good match to end the year for AEW. 2021 has done well for AEW, and 2022 can tell on TBS because they said, although they said Rampage will say on TNT, but on TBS 2022, AEW should be continue to roll in the future, but hopefully then in 2022 we find out maybe Cody stays a tweener. That's just the thing. Maybe Cody doesn't really turn heel, but we'll see, because we thought it was going to happen on Christmas with Sammy. That was not the case, but we'll see. But good match between 3 good matches on the show, and we got a loaded TBS debut on Wednesday. Hangman versus Bryan, part 2. Got Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho. You got Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. And we got the Lucha Brothers facing Jurassic Express for tag team titles. So a fun-packed Dynamite to look forward to on Wednesday. But this is the episode. This is the end of the review, and that's the episode for Rampage today. But thank you guys for joining me. Hope everyone's being safe on this New Year's. including last night on New Year's Eve. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you all. I'll be back, of course, Thursday with Dynamite Review. And then next Saturday with Rampage again. But thank you. Be safe. Happy 2022. Peace.